What's up, LMU? My name is Dan Raffety, here with sports editor Kevin Cacabelos, here for the second edition of the semester of the Playbook, talking about Super Bowl XLVIII.
It's time to go, man.
Here we
The
go.
last two teams are here.
16 weeks, 3 rounds of playoffs. This is what it's all about.
Dan, Peyton Manning,
Yes.
37 years old. I think that's really old for a football player.
37. I look like a 37. It's not that.
Yeah, you do. Okay, 37 years old
Okay.
though.
Mhm.
Maybe had the best season of his career.
Correct. Which is saying something because
It's insane.
Right.
If he wins a Super Bowl, what would that mean for his legacy?
This legacy question is fascinating to me because even if he loses the Super Bowl, he's still one of the best quarterbacks of all time. If he wins the Super Bowl, he's going to be one of the best quarterbacks of all time. He's not going to have the Marino syndrome where didn't win any. He already has a Lombardi trophy, but it can't hurt because at the end of his career, he and Tom Brady will always be paired. Always. And Brady has 3. Manning having another one to really help him out, but this does not define his legacy at all. He's already a Hall of Fame quarterback.
Okay.
Now, question for you, Seattle native over here. Richard Sherman, after a great play, we'll call it, on the ball, interview with Aaron Andrews, was very enthusiastic, got some criticism. What's your thoughts? Do you think it was warranted, or what do you think? Do you think the controversy is justified?
I think it's just justified because it's just so out of the ordinary.
Mm-hmm.
But to make him a negative figure because of that, I don't think that's the right thing. I think, right after a huge play, probably the biggest play of his life, to send his team to the Super Bowl, there's no grace period. Aaron Andrews puts the mic in front of his face, and he just says what's on his mind.
I get that, but let's say you were watching the game from Pennsylvania or from Oklahoma, and you don't know anything about the Seattle Seahawks. I mean, you don't even know Seattle's a city in the United States.
Exactly.
And you see this, all of a sudden, Peyton Manning and the Denver Broncos have a lot more fans rooting for them in the Super Bowl because what it does is it puts a bad image, in my opinion, on the organization. I get it.
Yeah.
He's fired up. But now people are rooting against Seattle when Seattle has a great organization.
Let's kind of wrap it up here. Dan, who has the edge right now?
Well, it's 2 weeks away, obviously. I'm going to go, I know you're going to talk about a little about the defense. If you give Peyton Manning 2 weeks, I don't know if he can be beat. Now, a big factor for me is going to be the weather. This is the first Super Bowl, I think, ever. It's just going to be in an outdoor chill zone. Usually it's in San Diego or Tampa or somewhere where they're tanning on the sidelines. But this one's going to be in East Rutherford, New Jersey. It's going to be freezing. If the weather is 35 degrees and higher, Peyton Manning wins and the Denver Bronco wins. If it's lower than 30 degrees, I give the edge to Seattle.
So we're going to be paying attention to the forecast.
Absolutely.
So, okay.
Pay attention to the forecast. Right now it's still a little unclear, but absolutely, that's what I go with.
I think that obviously the cold weather favors the Seahawks, and I think
run the football,
and play good defense, and I think I'm hedging my bets toward that being the factor, and I think it's going to be cold, and I think the Seahawks. The difference between the Seahawks and the Broncos is the Seahawks quarterback, Russell Wilson, does not need to play his best game of the year. He's going to be there. All right.
Cool. That wraps us up. We got to take this phone call. And look forward to another Playbook next week. But whatever you do, definitely watch Super Bowl XLVIII, which again will be in 2 weeks, February 2nd. Thank you, LMU, and have a great day. Bye-bye.